So if you're watching these videos of mine, you're probably also a person that looks at the world and thinks, what? Is this really happening? Because this world, especially the last 3 years, I feel, is so much a circus show. And it already was. Like, it's full of clowns and it's full of just things that a normal, rational person would never think would happen. But yet here we are, and we're in such a weird situation on this planet right now. And I truly think that a lot of people just got into this mass psychosis where people just don't really see what reality is anymore, and people keep listening to other people basically that call themselves government, and people just get incentivized by those other people to do bad things. And people just don't really realize. And it's interesting because when people make bad decisions, even if it has good intentions, if people make bad decisions and then it turns out that they were bad decisions, most of the time they will just decide not to talk about it and just decide to forget about it because it's way less painful, right? The thing is, then it just keeps on happening. It just keeps on coming back, and people keep on making dumb mistakes, which a normal, rational person wouldn't make. And in that way, you get more and more irrational choices. It's kind of like the person that always lies, and then everyone finds out that the person is lying, but the person is never big enough to say he or she was lying. And so you get crazier and crazier lies. And this is pretty much what's going on in this world right now. And it's just fascinating to look at, just as a person in the background, just looking at it. But it's also a thing, like, it's very easy for a person like me, for example, when I look at the world and I'm like, yeah, this, like, I try to disassociate myself with this world because I just do not identify anymore with the same kind of person as the people around me most of the time. But that's a problem because these people still exist and they influence the planet because, the rational people are kind of outnumbered right now, or at least you don't hear them as much. And I think it's because it feels so useless to put out thoughts like this, and it feels so useless to be rational and to make the quote unquote right decisions, because no matter how many right decisions you make, the world seems to get crazier and crazier. The cool thing is that my life has been constantly improving, even though a lot of people's life has constantly been getting worse because of the decisions that people make. And I tend to think that I make the right decisions for myself. And I try to put that out there just to show also people that there's still people that are thriving. And also to have some kind of message to you that your choices do matter and your efforts do matter a lot. And right now it's actually the time to really stand up and to speak what you have to say, because someone has to do it, basically. And there's this giant fight right now where sovereign people are deciding that no more. You can't push me any further. I'm gonna stand for what I believe in, and it's freedom and it's sovereignty, and that is righteous living together with nature, and not the insane system that we've been growing up in, and the insane system that is getting to a peak of insanity right now. We're living in a time right now where scammers and the criminals of the highest rank basically are getting away with mass murder, with mass fraud, with practically any bad thing that you could think of, and then 10 times worse. People are getting away with that. And the good people that try to bring sovereignty and that try to bring responsibility back to people and try to bring the power back to nature, those are the people that are getting locked up. Those are the people that get the fines. Those are the people that get their rights taken off of them, or at least it's being tried. And it's just ridiculous. And at this point, when you're silent, at this point, when you see something and you decide that it's not your problem, or you decide that it's easier to just be silent, at this point, you're just one of the people that make the problem. It's ridiculous how far this has come. And I guess it's all part of it. And yes, it's all a process for me, and it's a process for you, and it's a process for pretty much entirety of humans in this human world. And everything will go anyways as it's supposed to be. But that's also the reason why I'm talking to you, just because I'm supposed to do that, apparently. And I don't know what you're supposed to do, but you better be doing it. You better get to it. And yeah, even though it feels ungrateful, even though you think it hurts, or you think it would be easier to not do anything, you're not here to do anything. Or you're not here to do nothing. That's what I want to say. You're here to fulfill a specific purpose, whatever that purpose is, and I hope you get to it. I hope you start doing it and not be distracted by all the trash that's going on around you. Try to be centered. And I get that is hard. For me, it's also hard, but it's very important right now. If there's one thing that you do, it's to listen to yourself, to listen to whatever is going on within you, and you already know what you need to do. Even if you don't want it, even if you don't like it, you need to do it. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say. I'm talking to you as much as I talk to myself. It's very important right now that we take a stance for what we believe in and not be swayed by the insane circumstances around us right now. Everything will get worse. Everything will get more intense. But that also goes for the good things. If you decide now to stand for the right things, your life will be more and more intense in the right way. So either you do nothing and your life will get more and more intense in the wrong ways, or at least in the ways that you can't affect it, or you take action, you stand for what you believe, and everything will get more and more intense in the way that you want it to. I know what my choice is. I'll see you in the next video.